right, hello, beautiful people. Holding it down is back again. Next up on the agenda, Tony Dungy makes some remarks, comments regarding Michael Sam, the first openly gay player drafted into the NFL, drafted by the St. Louis Rams in was it the 7th round of the draft.
Yeah.
But considering that they had so many picks, he was like their 9th pick or something like that. But so really eclipsed the amount of players, rounds that the NFL draft actually has. So Tony Dungy has some remarks about Michael Sam in regards to drafting an openly gay player to his team, why he wouldn't do it. He says, not because I don't believe Michael Sam should have a chance to play, but I wouldn't want to deal with all of it. It's not going to be totally smooth. Things will happen. Now, of course, the wonderful world now that we live in of media, social media, the internet, yeah. So that, like you said, dropped into the spin cycle, and Tony Dungy came under fire as such after those comments. Let me just say that I think that he did come back and try to backpedal and said that whatever it was after that, but nonetheless, that's almost irrelevant. Almost. I think that this last year, Tony Dungy, he's known for stuff like this. He made some remarks about Richie Incognito, saying that when he was with the Colts, guys like him were on his players not to draft because of character list. And I can understand that because if you guys like Richie Incognito, I guess you can kind of pin them ahead of time. I don't know, but nonetheless. This has now opened the door, because Michael Sam's an openly gay player, this has now opened the door wide open because Tony Dungy is a
devout Christian.
Devout Christian, yes, thank you for taking the words right out of my mouth. Devout Christian, and makes no qualms about it. That's his agenda and is as such.
His agenda.
Listen, and clearly, like I said, and being as such means that he is against Michael Sam's whole
lifestyle.
His whole lifestyle. Flat out. So his comments, without any knowledge of everything else, reeks of just flat out bias, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Whereas if he was the coach, let's not draft him because he's homosexual and because it could be a distraction and X and Y and Z and whatever the case may be. Now, like I said, obviously he's going to come out and say that that's not the case. He just doesn't want him. He wouldn't want him because he says that his talent level doesn't match the amount of attention he would garner. Mm-hmm. Which I understand what that means, but I don't think that's fair. I mean, yes, it's very similar in comparison to Tim Tebow. Because and I'll say it's similar to Tim Tebow because anybody, if you want to say, I can bring Tebow on my team, you're not gonna have to pay him much of anything. I want a guy on my team to do whatever he can do at this point. I don't know if he's good even being a quarterback anymore. H-back, whatever you want Tim Tebow to do for your team. Okay. But you're like, you know what? That's gonna come with
Tim Tebow.
The Tim Tebow stuff.
Okay.
So I think it's similar as far as that goes, but
it ends there.
It ends there, of course. That's what I'm saying. But I don't think it's this is fair in a way. And Michael Sam handled the situation very well, just kind of dismissing the comments pretty much altogether, which is great. Handled very well by him, very classy. He didn't come back and take any shots at Tony Dungy, which he could have done, but he couldn't because
if he did,
that would leave him in a really bad position.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, it reeks of Tony Dungy. Just
he'd look kind of catty if he did that.
Yeah, he would. But this, like I said, this reeks of Tony Dungy. Just I don't want him on my team. He's a homosexual. Like that's what this screams.
But I mean, that's only because you know who Dungy is.
Right.
If that was Jim or John Harbaugh or someone who you don't know what is. Cause, I mean, Dungy is someone who who is very. I mean, like Tebow, I guess, kind of. His religion was kind of a part of who he was.
Yes.
So I mean, so you knew, who he is. You know his background. So what he's saying, that's kind of behind it.
Right.
But I mean, I don't think that's the case though. I think he is what he said is what he said. Like his talent. Okay, you said yourself. He's a 7th-round pick. 7th-round pick.
Now, however, I will say this. Yes, he was a 7th-round pick, and yes, even the Rams passed on him several times before.
Along with other teams.
Along with other teams.
6 other rounds before that.
Before selecting him. Now, aside from the Rams, are there other teams that didn't take him because of the same reason why Tony Dungy wouldn't? It's like, I don't want that on my team.
Okay. If that's the case, then okay. Let's say that was the case.
Look, like before you continue, just like. And not in the same way, but just like Randy Moss.
No, different.
I mean, granted, Randy Moss has got talent. He had talent coming out of the building.
Yeah.
So why wasn't he first? Why didn't he go earlier?
That wasn't the distraction issue. It was character issues.
Yeah.
Because he got kicked out of school, arrested.
Yeah, but what's worse, character issues or distraction? Character issues you can be off the field. You can be suspended.
Yeah. But
distractions is just a distraction.
But,
okay,
Okay. I'll take your Randy Moss.
Okay.
And I'll one up you one with T.O.
Okay.
Mr. Team Obliterator.
Team Obliterator.
Yes. He was the ultimate, distraction.
Good point.
And head case and other things he did, whatever. But his talent allowed him to be on the field and kept him on different teams. Teams saw what he did in San Fran and Philly and wherever. And they still, hey, T.O., want to play for us next year? They still called him up because he had talent.
I give you that. I give you that. The Eagles wouldn't have made a Super Bowl without him.
They wouldn't have.
Okay.
But his talent let him.
And if he didn't get hurt, you could argue that they would have won.
Chances. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I digress from that point because yes, I agree with that. You're right. I'll give you that.
But but going back to Sam, I mean, he was a good player. I mean,
listen. He's no slouch coming out of college.
No.
He played in the SEC.
The co-defensive
player of the year in probably the best, the best conference in college football, D1 especially. That's nothing to like. They just don't hand that out. I mean,
they don't. But I mean,
and yes, there have been a lot of great college football players that were terrible in the NFL, but you don't know that that's the case. He could be great. He could be a Pro Bowler, or he could be Brian Bosworth.
But I mean, his draft grade, which came out pretty much around the time he, announced, his whatever, was a 4th-round grade. So it wasn't like he was going to be, someone to be in the first 3 rounds. He was
absolutely
4th round, and it could have been 7th round, but
But my point, adding to that is that he's a graded 4th-round talent. But guys, and that's that varies depending on where you take a guy talent wise. Yeah. Some guys have 1st-round talent, but they go 2nd round, 3rd. Like guys like something like a Marquise Lee. Like he has like a 1st-round talent, but Jaguars took him in the 2nd round. He slipped in the 2nd round. Obviously, he had injuries and whatever the case may be. But so even with the 4th-round grade, talent wise, I'm gonna say I think there are teams that passed on him because he's an openly homosexual player. Flat out.
No. Wait, because of that or because of what comes with that? Both. Okay. Now, because Tony said it, is that the
that was it. Before Tony Dungy made his comments, that was actually, I had heard some talkings about that before. Okay. Exactly what I just said. Okay. Like, and you hit the nail on the head. People mentioned that before. Like, he was a 4th-round graded talent. Mm-hmm. A lot of teams passed on him because he's a homosexual homosexual player, and he didn't go until the 7th round. So he could have went before that. A lot of people were like, this is co-defensive player of the year in the SEC. He could have went before the 7th round. Yes. A lot of teams needed help on defense.
Okay, so pretty much Tony just pretty much said what everyone was thinking. He just said it openly. I mean, he said it out loud. Publicly, I should say.
But you can't do that.
Why can't you?
I mean, you can do it, but
but he's not saying it. No, he said it. But he's not saying it because he's gay. He's saying because his talent doesn't allow you to pick him.
That's what he's saying. That's his backpedal statement.
No, he said that first. He said that, didn't he? I
think that's his backpedal.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
He reiterated that's what he meant.
Correct.
But
exactly.
he said his talent doesn't dictate or whatever say that he deserves to be second round pick, and I wouldn't have picked him, because he's not that good, and also you get the distraction of the other stuff.
But coming from Tony Dungy, he's not the right person to say that.
Because he's a Christian. I mean, I don't care really if he's a Christian or whatever.
Because that's his whole persona. He's righteous and he's Christian. He's a man of God and da 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 da.
What if Tebow said it? What if he was on the team and said,
that would be just as bad.
That would have been great. That would have been great, yo.
Oh my goodness.
If Tebow said,
and the whole Tebow followers like, yeah, Michael Sam, get him out of here.
That would have been great. Like that is like some WWE type stuff, yo. Like
it really is.
That's great.
That's Team Tebow's next bout should be working for the WWE.
Well, South Park or something, yo. Tebow versus Mike Sam, yo.
Oh wow. Celebrity death match?
Yes. Miles Lane.
Oh my goodness. Tebow versus Tony Dungy versus Michael Sam in a triple threat match. It's just, nonetheless, it's just, like I said, Tony Dungy has an agenda. And which is why I don't think he's the right person to make that comment. It's just...
I think because it is Dungy, it came out wrong. Well, it didn't come out wrong. I think because it is Dungy, people took it as more than what it was really. But I mean, I don't think it was that bad. I mean, he said what was already kind of out there already.
He said what was out there, but was he the right person to say it because of his background, his history? That's questionable. I say no, he wasn't. But to each his own. I mean, listen. Came out, made his comments. Michael Sam dismissed him, and we're gonna continue along because Jeff Fisher has no problem with it, and Jeff Fisher is the coach of the Rams. That's really all that matters for Michael Sam, as far as Michael Sam goes. I mean,
back to the last point you made. So because he's Tony Dungy, you can't make comments like that. You can't speak out on gays or
you can't because you're a public figure. You're a media guy. You're a big media guy, and you're a devout Christian. You can't, because you know what that looks like? That's almost like him pushing his beliefs out there. And you can't do that. You can't.
Tebow does it.
Nobody said he should. I don't support the fact that he does that.
You don't, but
I don't. But those same people, those same Catholics or Christians or whatever he is, the man of God, and people follow him, and that's why they like him. You know what I'm saying? So when
Dungy does it, then I'm
not saying Tebow should do it either.
No, I'm saying when Dungy does the same thing, whatever, just talks about his Catholic Christian belief, whatever, what he does, whatever. Where his followers at?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Where all these,
That's a very good question. Where's Tony Dungy's followers? That's a good question. Everybody's on Tim Tebow, man. I'm like, see, now we can turn this into a race thing. I don't want to do that. But...
No be great? No be great, too? If, someone comes out with, says some kind of racist recently, in the news one day, and Sterling comes out, it says, you know what? It's kind of racist right there, guys.
Oh, my goodness.
Someone interviews him, like a Stuart Scott, someone interviews, Don Sterling, we're thinking about the comments made by, I don't know, Donald Driver or whatever, or other day, I don't know, it was kind of racist, I think.
Sounded kind of racist. I was a little bit offended. That would take the cake.
That'd be great.
That would take the cake for all randomness of all time.
No. He should comment on the Redskins.
Oh my God.
You know what? Redskins is kind of racist to me.
That would just...
That'd be great.
That's the tip of the iceberg right there.
That'd be great.
That is what it is. Tony Dungy makes his comments. Everybody jumps on his back. Jumps all over him. That's all I got on that. I mean, it is what it is. I don't think he's the right person to... Because, like I said, it makes it seem like he's pushing his beliefs out there, but I guess that's what Tony Dungy does.
He should have had Tebow speak for him.
He should have had Tebow. You know what? If he had Tebow speak for him, it would have came out a lot better for him.
Would have been great.
Because guess what? Tebow's got his followers, and everybody else who will have already exiled Tebow, we just exile him some more, and then no harm, no foul. No, everybody wins, nobody loses. I don't know. That is what it is. But... holding it down, another issue. Like, dislike, leave the comments down in discussion. We would love to continue this discussion. Whatever you got to say, we would love to go a little back and forth. You know, Michael Sam, Tony Dungy.
Or results on the triple threat match too.
Oh, you know what? Because you know,
Sam, Tebow,
and Tony Dungy, triple threat match. We'd love to know who you think would win. I mean, I've got, you know, I think I've got my money on Michael Sam a little bit just because, you know,
Tebow's kind of big himself.
Tebow's a big guy, but I don't.
Kinda, you know,
I don't think. I think Michael Sam would eat Tim Tebow for breakfast. Personally, Tony Dungy doesn't stand a chance. His back would be broken in the first 30 seconds. Forget about it. He's out of here. Holding it down, triple threat matches, whatever you want to talk about. We'll get to you on the flip side. I'm Henri. This is Devin. And we'll get you next time.